Why, hello and welcome everybody. Also, good morning. I just woke up. So today I wanted to go ahead and update you guys with another character I'm playing in last Epoch. Originally, I was going to do a first impressions video, but because of this bug, I decided I wanted to kind of show a new character. So what I mean by this bug are two things. Number one, if you were playing offline and you made several characters on the most, not this patch now, but the patch before, it was actually overriding your characters. So what that means is that my Spellblade is gone. Unfortunately, I cannot necessarily cover everything because I do know that Flame Reave, not even my version of Flame Reave, but Flame Reave in general was bugged. Like the base skill Flame Reave was bugged, so pretty much anyone using it had a massive decrease in like range and quite a bit in damage, so that kind of sucks. But you can absolutely build around it, just don't go Rhythm of Fire. With that being said though, I want to show you guys a much more ethical character that I'm trying out, which is a Meteor Sorc. Now, before stating anything on this, I do want to state that I think that Sorc is better suited to be using different skills other than Meteor. Like, I think you would have way more success in general building around virtually like anything that's not Meteor. I think Meteor is a lot of fun, but I think that there are just stronger skills in general. So the general TLDR of how this works is you have this gigantic whomping Meteor, right, that comes down and basically just blows stuff up. Because of the Sorc passive, and I'm not going to cover too much, I'm just mainly going to show gameplay here, but because of the Sorc passive here, Lost Knowledge, you actually gain a ton of ward anytime you cast a spell, essentially above 40 mana. This is why I think with Sorc in general, it would be much better to have a skill that's kind of like in between, not that costs like a crazy amount, right? With that being said though, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into like this level 90 timeline here. This character is not using any gear from anything. It's just what I've kind of farmed right now. So we are currently level 76. Yeah. So let's go ahead and check it out. Like enemies have critical strike avoidance. Ooh, we don't want crit avoidance. High health enemies take less damage. Sorry for the hiccups. Get some XP. We're low level anyway. So if you want to level this character, insert level with any fire skill. The big thing is, honestly, you don't really... This is a little tricky because what I'm using right now is a staff that completely converts meteor damage to lightning. There is a helmet that basically doubles the damage that you'll deal because it gives you one spell lightning per intelligence when you have that helmet. Meteor has 900% effectiveness, so that is kind of crazy. I also just realized that there are actually lightning, so there's a modifier if I look at my materials here called lightning critical strike lightning multi. I don't know where it is on here, but it's lightning critical strike multiplier, which is disgusting. Or lightning critical strike, yeah, lightning multi, which basically would give me so much more damage. I believe it can roll on helmet and body armor. But I would have to recraft my body armor and my helmet, and that's a little hard right now. So my character is definitely a little bit gimped compared to what it could be. With that being said, it's still really fun. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Okay. I don't know what that zap is. So basically what I do here is I kind of like run, and then I black hole, and then I meteor, and then they die, and then I move on to the next pack. And I can still kind of just like tap the meteor. The trick with this combo is making sure you're above 400 mana, and I will explain that in a little bit. You also still want to cast every so often to get some level of ward, because if you don't keep your ward up, you're kind of going to just go splat. Okay, so not that I really have to do this, but you see how this is a boss right here? When I'm actually bossing, I'm going to show you what I do. So if you look at my mana, it says 747. 800. 900. 1k. 1.1k. And now we go. So that's going to be essentially... Oh wait, I just realized the target's moved all the way over here. Can I pull both of them? Actually, I'll probably die, so Black hole, R-E, right click, right click, right click. Okay, everything's dead. But essentially, I will explain what that does in a moment. That's kind of like the wombo combo that I can do with this character. Okay, so basically, the way that works is you can use your focus to go above your maximum mana. And the reason that's good is when you are like prepping to go fight a boss, like an actual boss, you don't need to do it on like the regular timelines. It gives you a much bigger burst window. The reason for that burst window is because with Flame Ward, you can spec it for lightning, which gives you 250% lightning damage. So if you look at my Meteor, it goes up a lot. And then Arcane Ascendance, which is this buff here. You can take like Higher Plane, and I also take like Cunning here for additional spells, which basically all this is saying is I get a burst of spell damage when I'm casting. I think the tooltip is a little bugged because it's showing cast speed. I think it's showing cast speed give me damage, which is not actually true because I can't infinitely spam it, but this is kind of what it looks like when I'm like using Meteor. As for Meteor itself, it's a little tricky. This is the most annoying one. Right. So I currently have, why is it? Oh, that was weird. So this is currently what my Meteor looks like, and I don't actually like it. I don't think you should put 2 points in a Meteor Shower. I think the problem with Meteor Shower is it reduces the radius a lot, and the problem with it reducing the radius is oftentimes you don't get, like if you see there, they're too far spread out because they're too small. If the radius is larger, then there's a much bigger chance of them overlapping. I feel like I've had the most success with only 1 point in Meteor Shower, and that's honestly just it, right? So I just basically take Twin Meteor, 1 point in Meteor Shower, and then that's 3 meteors, and the rest of my points are kind of balanced between Apocalyptic Impact and Monofall. Originally, I was also fully into Astral Cataclysm. The problem with Astral Cataclysm is it's 5 points, because you have to spend 2 points on Extinction, and base crit is irrelevant. Large Meteor is kind of cool, but I don't really know how good that is in reality when you want all of your meteors to overlap anyway, right? And then you're speccing into Catalytic or Cataclysm. So it's kind of good, but I don't know. I think when I was fire-based, it was a lot better to get. But now that you're lightning-based, you can actually benefit off of Stardust, where you get the 80% damage multiplier, right? So that's kind of huge. And again, that's pretty much from this staff right here. So if you guys want to try this character out, which again, I really don't necessarily recommend, I was just kind of showing it because this is the character I'm playing. I'm going to go ahead and flash my gear so you guys can kind of see. On your idols, I really feel like mana is the most important thing. It's also kind of nice that you get percentage armor along with mana. It's a hybrid stat. But since mana is taking up a prefix on your gear a lot of the time, it's really, really good to get mana on your idols. It's like massive, to be honest. It's like very, very heavily scaled off of idols. And then my gear I'm using, I was originally pivoting towards Ward, but the problem I have with Ward is that I just feel like I'm over investing into Ward when I could be investing into health. So on this character, I'm actually going to try to start pumping health. And then later on, I'm going to try to farm maybe one of the uniques that converts your health into Ward. Now, I meant to make a video, don't mind the dogs, I meant to make a video going over my first impressions. I unfortunately haven't really had time to make it. Simple TLDR is I very much recommend Last Epoch, but for a more fleshed out first impressions, I'll probably release one after Diablo 4's beta weekend, just because things are a bit tight right now. And then I will flash my, you guys already kind of saw this. A lot of these things, I just don't feel like I have another good skill, right? There's this thing with Meteor, World Ender, where you always crit when above 400 mana. And because of that, I never invest into crit chance. I just kind of go for crit multi, which is weird because it makes every other skill feel bad. So World Ender is definitely kind of unique in that sense. And I'm thinking of potentially, very much potentially, seeing how the lightning aura works, because there's not much else for me to get right now, And Lightning Aura could potentially be very defensive if it's just kind of like zapping a lot of stuff around me. It could also be offensive because it's technically has a chance to shock, I believe. So might get a little bit of RF action on this character as well. Anyway, that's pretty much about it. Hope you guys had a wonderful time. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget you can catch me streaming live every day but Sundays at twitch.tv/Pohx. Tomorrow.